Welcome, Astro family, to another Hardwood and Astroturf talk show. Peoples, we are past round one of the playoffs, and it's been exciting. It's been hype. We can talk about that a little later. But if you hear Peoples, make sure to click that like button on the video, get the algorithm, working so that other people can see it. Before any further talk, because I know we had a late start, some
Mhm.
situations we had to sort out, some must do's on the Hasbro Bros end. So sorry about that. But as always, before we get started, we can check in with Hasbro Bros, see how the week going so far. We know it's only Monday, but hey, Mondays could be tough. So,
For sure.
Brave One, how's life, man?
Life going good, man. Can't complain, truthfully. Just a little tired, but we here. We ready to push through. Talk some NBA basketball. A lot of exciting stuff to talk about. Just going
Yeah,
over the previous series, which was pretty interesting to say the least. And we got some new series to talk about. Some playing right now, some played yesterday, so we dive right into it.
for sure, for sure.
Hmm.
Hakeem, my guy, how was the
Well,
week, man?
the week was pretty good. Uh, been going pretty really well so far. I actually did a little hike today, and it was quite
Nice,
fun.
nice.
So yeah, today was a pretty good day.
Man,
Looking forward to the week.
active.
Active. As we say, we outside.
We outside, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So with that family, I hope you guys are doing well as well. Thank you for tuning in to the stream. We can dive right into it, people. We're not gonna waste too much time. Let me let me talk about the predictions. So the scores were pretty close. We, which
Let
I
me let-
was excited to see. Unfortunately, your boy, the prediction god, was back on top. He edged out everybody
by
by
one
by
point. By
one
one
point.
point. By
Yeah, by
one point.
one point, he edged out everybody because he got that Celtics right.
Hmm.
Um, that was a shocker. Let me talk about that game first. That
That series.
we wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that series. Sorry, we
Well,
were not expecting that.
I for as my prediction still, I was expecting the Celtics to win. I didn't think that would have been a sweep. That was
Sweep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the most surprising thing in the first round. Like, and I can't even say that. Like, equally as surprising was that nobody else got swept other than the Brooklyn Nets.
yep,
Yep.
I think that's more surprising
not
than
even
anything
Bulls.
else. Yeah, like I was certain the Bulls were going to get swept by the Bucks.
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Didn't
Nope. Nope.
happen.
Nope.
I mean,
Yeah,
I had a thought that the Hawks probably could have guessed, but I just felt Trae Young could have probably pulled it one, which so happened. So happened, but
mhm.
I would have put my money on the Heat to sweep them. Like I didn't see
My
no chance. Like what the Nets though, the Nets seriously, like them I
Yeah,
was
of
so
all teams
soft.
though.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
KD just didn't show up.
Hmm.
He only showed up in the fourth game, but the first three games he was not KD at all. I think the way how physical Celtics were really offset his rhythm, and I think it became then more than just his physical ability. It became mental, and once they affected his psyche, I think he had a really hard time recovering. But kudos to Celtics. Celtics played well. Jalen Brown,
Yeah, he was.
Jason Tatum, they balled out.
Hmm.
I of course I had the Nets to win, so I was at lost, especially with Kyrie was
Right.
cooking the first game. Oh my god! But the Nets got regroup. They didn't have enough
They got
defensive
awesome, man.
players. They didn't have enough defensive players. They didn't have enough big men to really pose a threat and just defend well. They did not defend well that entire series, and I think that was their biggest problem, to be honest.
Yeah, you gotta defend the basket as well as you attack it for sure.
Yeah, just to compound on Hakeem's point, like going into the season, that was the biggest area where people would have seen or would have thought to be in the Nets' weakness, and it just carried out throughout the entire season and into the playoffs as we saw. And even
Hmm.
just watching the games during the regular season is like so many of these bad teams scoring so many points against the Nets, and it takes them like they got to score 130, 34 points to be a what you would consider to be a bad team like a Detroit or some like
Sacramento Kings.
yeah, like something like that. Like you see the evidence of the bad defense there because they couldn't start even what would consider to be the bad teams in the NBA from scoring. So um, it was evident for a while, and it just turned
Yeah,
out to be accurate analysis of how the season would have been regarding the Nets on the defensive end.
Yeah, I think everybody
amazing.
was I think everybody was hoping that Ben would have been back in time for the
Yeah.
playoffs, and he would have, if he was back at least 80%, he would have definitely fortified the Nets defense without a doubt. It's just unfortunate he wasn't ready. It seems like it seems as I want to say 100% mental no for Ben, which is no, as a result, it's causing him some bad aches. What I've been hearing from latest
Yeah,
reports,
which is it
but
seems a little weird, a little weird, truthfully.
stress,
But
stress,
I
stress,
can't tell.
stress, stress is a powerful, powerful emotion there. But they got to work on Ben. But if Ben was back, it could have been a different series.
Yeah,
Could have been, but kudos to Celtics.
yeah,
Let's just hope they bounce. They play well in the next round.
yeah.
Ben should have just kept himself fit for the entirety of the like from the beginning of the season. He should have just kept fit so that if if called upon when the opportunity showed itself, he should have been ready. But hey,
I
you
think
say it?
I think he's physically ready, but mentally he's just not there. I think that's the biggest problem with Ben right now.
Yeah, that's a tough one to go. Let me hop coast though, and talk about a surprise series in Suns and Pelicans.
Yeah,
Yeah, the result is what we expected, but not to the extent that it was shown. Pelicans put up a very good fight
yeah.
against a strong Suns team. Even without Devin Booker, everybody knows Suns is still a good team. Devin Booker came back and helped Suns to seal the deal in the sixth game, but I still think that we got to give
CP3.
Pelicans. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
CP3, yeah, but
CP3
I
played an
think that
outstanding game, man.
perfect, perfect game, buddy.
I got 14 for
Literally.
14
Unheard
for
of.
the,
Literally.
14 for 14. I could not believe it.
Unheard of. But like I was saying, you got to give Pelicans their gems right now because they fought hard and they play good basketball.
I give
And
them no flowers, no gems,
no,
none.
come on,
Devin
bro.
Devin Booker was down, and they played all right. But if Devin Booker was
They
there,
played all right,
I do not believe they would have gotten a game.
bro.
Devin Booker going down is what gave them the chance. When
I
he
gotta
came back,
disagree.
nah.
I gotta
If he
disagree
if
because
he
they
was
played
there,
really good basketball.
if he was as good as they played, they would have been outmatched on the offense. And we know what the Suns could do defensively. But if Devin Booker was there, would have been a different ball game. Different ball game. And Scott CP3 as good as he played in last game. He had two somewhat off games by his standards in games 3 and 4. So it's like he can't play the box like that. But you see, last game, that's when he went off. That's when he went off. But if Devin was there, I believe it would have been a sweep. For sure.
I don't know. I can't agree at all. We can't hear you, Ravon. I don't know.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
there
was
you
saying
go.
that I ain't getting into that debate again with Hakeem about Devin Booker. Number one, and number two, I feel like this is more a testament to what the Pelicans can be next season when Zion comes back because they put
Mhm.
out a lot of fight and when Zion come back, oh my god, the West, this year the West was the weaker conference. Truthfully speaking, but next week so many teams should be reloaded with the best players. You got the Nuggets.
Next season.
Yeah, next season. Sorry. You got the Nuggets should be getting back Jamal and Michael Porter Jr. Lakers should get healthy. Clippers should get healthy. Kawhi, Paul George.
Yeah.
The Pelicans should be on the race. So it's like right now I don't know which team that is in the playoffs now that is going to be outside of maybe the Jazz because I think they can do some. They should do some.
Rebuilding. They should do some rebuilding. Yeah, some
Yeah,
rebuilding.
they should make
Yeah.
some changes going forward. But that's the only team that I can see that might.
I don't. I want to say the Pelicans will make it, but you never know with Zion
Yeah,
as a serious
yeah.
force.
Like right now, the West is a toss up coming into next year, so that's quite intriguing to see. That's the takeaway for me from the Pelicans and the Suns series. I had the Suns winning regardless. However, if it ended that Chris Paul and Devin Booker wasn't coming by to play, if it took in 7 games, I still think the Suns was going to win either way.
Yo, if Chris Paul wasn't
If he
I
wasn't
think if they
perfect,
had lost Devin Booker and Chris Paul,
yeah. Well,
Well,
then,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well,
But
they
that's
that's
it.
chopped it
That's
with.
it.
that's
That's
given.
that's it for sure.
That's
That's
given.
it for
Yeah,
sure.
That's
yeah.
given. That is given.
But like you said, Pelicans played great.
Hmm.
Like I may getting in that talk with Hakeem, not tonight. Uh, Let me hop back over to the East, peoples. We already mentioned Bucks and Bulls. Like, it is what it is. But
Yeah,
Sixers and Raptors. What you guys thought about that series?
man.
76ers and
The
Raptors.
Raptors were surprising. I didn't expect them to get 2 games, and
Really,
I didn't expect them to get 2 games. I didn't expect them to get two
I
games.
I didn't
I,
expect them to get
I can't
one.
remember. I can't remember if I had them to be 4-love or if it was 5. I think I had it to be. Let me tell you now. I had them to be 4. Yeah, 4. I had them get in 5 games.
hmm,
So
Oh, five
yeah,
games.
5 games in 5 games. So the fact that they actually got to game 6,
hmm.
you know, whew, I was quite surprised. Now, Harden has not been himself. It's clear. Harden has not been himself throughout this entire playoff run so far. He's been averaging, I think, in the teens. I think around 16, 17. And I Joel can only do so much. And then Joel went out. I think Joel got a injury in was it the first or second game of the playoffs?
I think it might have been the third game. I ain't sure.
Third game, but it was early stage, and that it was a game. It was an entry you could still play through, but it was gonna cause some discomfort. And I don't know if it really affected him much, but Raptors found a way to just claw their way slowly back into the series. And even so much, it started to put a little doubt in the media and everybody's mind. Can Doc coach this team to actually win this series? But he's had the most 3-1 losses, 3-2 losses like ever. So it's like they were wondering, could he bring it home? They found a way. Thank God for the 76ers, but I did not expect Raptors to get this much at all.
Well, I truthfully, I thought the Raptors would have given them a strong fight, but with the
For
fact that,
Red,
but that's the thing. That's only a factor that came after the the the, the series had started.
okay.
But I felt as though they would have given them a run for their money. I get a little bit disappointed in myself that I didn't have it going 7 at least. Deep down, I felt like the Raptors is one team that has the length and the size to bother both James Harden and Embiid, um, in their in the way that they play their defense. Um, I watched the Raptors play and they did exceptionally well. I feel like you guys been sleeping on the Raptors because you don't even having to win a game, but nah, Nick Nurse, the coach, and the personality they have was just the perfect matchup to go against Embiid and Harden. A lot of length,
Do
a
you
lot
think
of
if, we do
size.
think we do think if Harden was Harden, I do think Raptors would have done so well, or
I
relatively speaking,
if you
'cause
could
Harden's
say
been a shell of himself.
if I feel like there would have been he would have run into some difficulties with them because they just got a lot of big defenders to put on him and give him a lot of trouble. So regardless
But
of
when
whether Harden was
Harden is
being
Harden,
Harden,
Harden is also a facilitator. So
no, he was no,
And by
but
the
that's
way,
one thing that he was doing consistently. I could see it.
it was assistant. Yeah,
He's
he's assist.
assisting,
He does
but
assist. Yeah,
he's not getting the
he's
points.
not
He's not
scoring.
getting buckets.
But they didn't trade Harden to just assist. They trade Harden to drop
Exactly,
30,
exactly,
30 pieces.
exactly. So I feel like either way they would have given him some trouble. Maybe not as much trouble as he probably would have experienced. He probably would have averaged maybe like 20, 20 something, low 20s. But
yeah,
I feel like that was a troubling matchup for them. But kudos to them for getting over it. They had the Toronto suffered from some misfortune with injuries also. So it played out in the Sixers' favor at the end of the day. So glad to see they're going through. Interested to see the result of their Nets rounds matchup against the Heat, which is playing right now.
Yeah, Miami Heat is currently winning the ball game, 68-61.
Miami Heat will win. Um,
We got a sneak peek prediction.
um, one of the matchups in this playoff series that we didn't get right at all was Jazz versus Mavs.
Yeah,
Um,
Yeah, no one.
Jazz underperformed even when the big guy from Mavs was
yeah,
out, and when he came in, it was just goodbye
yeah.
for the Jazz. So Anybody got any much
I
to say
said,
about
as I said,
Jazz at this point?
as I said in the previous, well, not the previous, it's two previous episodes, you got to blow the team. It's as simple as that. No, it seems Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell do not work, and they don't have the right pieces around them for this team to really reach their full potential. They look good on paper, but they're just not executing any playoffs. So I don't know if they need more veterans. If they need a different big man, because they can't. Realistically speaking, most people would rather trade Rudy Gobert than Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
So I'm most likely he's going to be there next season. If Rudy Gobert stays, they're going to have to revamp. Everybody else has to be in the chopping block because this team needs to be reconstructed.
Yep.
Simple as that. I don't know where is a good fit for Rudy Gobert, but they have to blow the team. The fact that they lost.
Y'all could take him, Hakim.
Actually, me about actually, I wouldn't be bad for Lakers. Actually, that wouldn't be bad for Lakers at all. I would take him for sure. I would give Russ a straight up swap. Russ for Rudy Gobert, easy.
What way would they choose Russ?
Yeah, exactly.
Look, I just going on salary cap, star players. We make another episode here. But the fact that Jazz,
I get some first round picks.
they were not able to win, even when Luka was out. It's just sad. Like it's just sad. Like it was only platter ready to be eaten. I was actually lost for words. As we said, no one got the prediction correct because no one would expect Jazz to lose.
My thing is, I didn't expect Luka. What was most surprising to me was how fast Luka was back. He got injured the last game of the season, and like right after that was the playing tournament, and then right after that was the playoff. So that's like maybe a week and some, and he's back already. Like
exactly, I don't know. It seems like the NBA got some special portions because the more players that get injured and recovering in weeks.
Exactly.
Like, no way. I'm like, no way.
Man, check that on special spray. You remember when footballers would get injured and you spray on their main foot?
The main talk right now, the talk is that Embiid might be back within 2 more games, within by like maybe game 3 or 4 right in this series.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What? I'm like, what? I cannot believe it. So I'm just at a loss. I don't know what the guy's doing, right? But they're getting the stars back in no time at all.
Yeah, hopefully though, it's not anything that's rushing. Then they got complications.
And gets to work. Yeah. Hopefully not.
But hey, we want MB back because we want a good series. So hopefully he's back and healthy. Yeah, go ahead.
But the thing about it is, right? Like, I feel like it's just a matter of players deciding that I might not be 100%, but it might be 80%, and that should be enough to help the team to get further. I think it's something as simple as that too. Despite the thought of, that we're thinking that people coming back too fast, I think it might just be the players deciding, well, hey, I can come back and play for the team because we got a chance here to do something special. But
that's the fishy thing about injuries.
That's risking their entire career. Like supposing injury, it worsens, and they're put in a position where they have to miss you the next season. You were right to your L right now, than to take an L and then an L in the future. So.
But why I think that Lucas specifically was a little bit quick because he had a calf strain, and that's literally the same injury that Kevin Durant had when he tore his Achilles. So in my head, I think that's something that is linked. So if you got a calf strain, you gotta be careful because there's a possibility that you could tear the Achilles tendon.
Let's knock on wood for Luka right now, though.
Yeah. For real, but his game is not based on pace. But I mean, you still gotta use that as part of your movement.
Yeah.
Maybe it might not be as big of a deal for him. So who knows?
Yeah.
Hopping back over to the West, Grizzlies versus Timberwolves, a good series.
Man, I feel like Timberwolves lost that series. Timberwolves had that series to win. All right. No, that they were beaten. No, that they were beaten. They lost it themselves. The amount of leads that Timberwolves had, and they just gave up the lead, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
They played some almost like we'd say hero ball. Some I don't want to say dumb, but you could say dumb actually. Silly, ridiculous, like nonsensical.
Yes, exactly.
Play. Like, and then a lot of hero ball from Anthony Edwards. Especially Anthony Edwards, actually, he was the biggest culprit in my opinion. They would have situations where they have the lead by 1 point, and instead of using up using up majority of time in shot clock to get a proper shot. You might well go and jack up a three, break, and then they get the other team will get a quick rebound and just pace up and get a bucket. And they did that a lot, even when they had like 20-point leads. And I remember I can't remember which game it was. If it was game, I think it was game
Game
two
three.
actually.
It's game three that they blew
It,
the
it was the
two
biggest
20
lead.
point. Yeah, the two 20 point
Yeah,
leads.
that was the biggest lead. I couldn't believe. So they were up like 26 points or 20 points
Yeah,
to go into the fourth quarter,
yeah, 20
and Ja
points.
turned it around in no time at all.
Hmm.
And that happened again. I think in game five. It
Yeah,
happened
it
frequently.
happened in game. Happened in game. Yeah, it happened in game.
It happened. It happened almost every game. It
Almost
happened
every
almost
game. There's only one
almost
game
every game.
that the Timberwolves lost convincingly, which was game two. They lost by the
Yeah,
20 or so. All
yeah.
the other games were the Timberwolves games to win.
They had
Literally,
to win without a doubt. And
literally.
although I chose the Memphis Grizzlies to win the
Hmm.
series, like watching the series, I was actually kind of hoping for Timberwolves, and they just didn't execute. And I know they're a young team, so they do have potential. Hopefully, they come back
Yeah,
better next year if they make it, because they're the team that actually that might miss out when the Clippers get
yeah.
back healthy.
Depending on who
When
goes.
yeah, so they might be in trouble. So we got hope for them, but I just hope they learn from their mistakes. Overall, we're still impressed by their style of play.
Yeah,
Pat Bev gave it his all on defense. He was really the spark for that team as well. They played good basketball, but just made some silly mistakes in
yeah.
the fourth quarter,
A
especially.
lot of silly mistakes. There's some is I understand. It's just a lot of silly stuff. Um, coming from I'm a Timberwolves fan. Coming from the
Hmm.
fan, you watch the games a little bit more intently than others. It was just I feel like it was a lot to do with Carl Anthony Towns too. Like there was a lot of opportunities for him. He should have been the best player in that series from the start to finish. The games where he was in full trouble shouldn't happen.
Yeah, he got
I
in foul
gotta
trouble
applaud him.
early too.
Yeah, in the first couple of games, I applaud him for after that finding the composure to staying out of foul trouble and just carrying on with the game, not arguing the refs so often at once, and just play the game. I feel like they could put him in a better spot to take advantage of the advantages that they were presented to him. But then they do it like post him up a little bit more and make him pass out the post. But truthfully, that's a disadvantage to him because he's not very great at it, or the team has not created a system that could kind of hide his maybe poor passing when he's in those situations. But I feel like there was some way that they could have changed it up so he could have get better touches closer, punish them in the paint a little bit more because
Yeah,
their best lineups were with smaller players and they didn't take advantage of that enough, truthfully. But
yeah,
they still had the lead multiple times and they still tried with multiple
multiple
times.
times.
So it truthfully came down to that more than anything else.
What I would also say too, which I think you predicted, that was honestly the most exciting series
Yeah, definitely,
of the first round.
definitely.
Uh, the Celtics and Nets had the most hype,
Yep.
and it was looking good the first two games. Like it was like, oh wow, the Nets went no to love. What a comeback will this be? It was a lot of
Yeah.
hype, but but they just didn't get the
A lot
comeback.
of hype and a lot of hope.
Exactly.
Yeah, but this series here, Timberwolves versus Grizzlies, this delivered. This was exciting
Yeah.
to watch. This was a good
I,
series.
I think you were the only person that didn't choose Grizzlies and Bulls to be the
But
best
we had
series.
oh yeah, probably. Well, the
Yeah,
Bulls no, the Bulls was to get Bulls were gonna get swept. But
Yeah.
but on a different note, this is like I ain't call it a early prediction. As impressive or as decent as the Memphis Grizzlies were first round,
Yeah.
I got them to get more by the Golden State Warriors.
Mo,
You
you saw
do
the
the,
first game.
you do the sit dog. You just put
You
them
saw
down
the first
early.
game.
Golden State do put them down. Golden State's gonna put down Grizzlies like a sit dog. They're going home early.
All
I got I
right,
got I got down five.
you fight. All right.
Got down
All
five
right.
Early
games. Put on the
prediction.
record. Five games.
Everybody here hacks. Sorry.
And
Cool.
five.
Last one we can talk about though is Warriors and Denver Nuggets. Any thoughts about that?
I just feel like Jokic wouldn't have been able to like back that team and pull them out. They don't have
Mhm.
anybody other than Jokic to contribute. It went as expected.
Right.
4-1.
Five.
Yeah. I felt as though Jokic had it in him to get him one, but he wasn't sure, so he went with the sweep. But 4-1, that's as good as you can ask for given the circumstances of the team. And congrats to the Warriors. They every right now a lot of people have them as their title favorites, and they handle
Mhm.
business in that series as they should. So a lot of great play from Jordan Poole, who I don't know where I don't know his improvement was pretty radical like, from during the regular season,
Exponential.
yeah, and then no,
Exponential.
in the postseason being he essentially one of the top two best players on the team in that specific series, like
Yep.
amazing,
Is it?
amazing.
Is it? Steph said, Jordan, Poole, you will be great. God bless you. Go for
And
it.
get a kiss on your forehead.
You know.
But yeah, nothing else from me from that series. The Nuggets, as I tell you, will be back next year with their two other top three players on the
Yep.
team. So
Mhm.
they're going to be trying to be back in the contention for a higher playoff spot than they got this year. And I think that's the team to watch out going into the next season. Be interested to see how it goes for them.
Yeah. For me, watching, I basically agree with everyone on that series. It kind of went as expected. I did expect York to find everything within him to get at least one win, and he got the win.
Hmm.
Being an MVP candidate, it was only fitting. He was able to. He has his talent and his skill and the determination to get that win, which he did. So all in all, it went as expected. Golden State beat them quite easily, to be honest. So I think Golden State is, to me, based on that performance and the way Jordan Poole has evolved in these from the regular season to the playoffs, he's shown that he's ready, and he's showing what you call a glimpse of a great player. Because all great players elevate their statistics in the playoffs.
Yep.
And so far, it's only round one, but so far he's done it. So just for him to maintain it and elevate and just Golden State is a really dangerous team. I actually have them as of right now to make it to the finals.
Mm.
So you got them to get past the Suns with
For
a
sure.
healthy Devin Booker.
For sure. For
Okay.
sure. For sure.
Okay, cool. So that was it, people, for our recap over the first round of the playoffs. Like we said, it was exciting. A lot of interesting things happened, but we got round two coming up. Actually, round two already start.
Yeah.
A couple of games have already played, and one already playing right now as we are doing this live. So hey, I am excited for this one, people's
So
Suns versus Mavs.
yeah, kick it off. Suns versus Mom. That's supposed
Yeah,
to start at 10
Suns
o'clock
versus Mavs.
tonight. Um, this one should be interesting. I
Yeah.
haven't really thought about this matchup. I didn't even think about it during the
I don't
regular
think, I don't
season.
think, I don't think, I don't think anyone
Yeah.
expected
Well,
it.
given the circumstances that the Jazz were put in front of the Jazz, yeah, no, me personally, I wasn't thinking that there's any way that the Mavs or Luca was coming back to play for the series, so it was like, okay, I ain't really thinking about this, but now that I looking at it, I just feel like these two teams have a similar style of play, especially defensively. Have a lot of guys about the same size that could switch on the perimeter, etc., etc. They got the difference is though the Suns got a all defensive player in Mikal Bridges that you could put on Luca. I mean, you could put
Yep.
anybody on Luca. Luca can probably still get his either way. But I know he has the capability to make it difficult, somewhat difficult for him. Um, with that said, this team is better at containing the dribble penetration that the Jazz were struggling to deal with. From Jalen Brunson and Luca. So I think this should be a really competitive series, taking it all the way to probably seven. I hope that is how it would be, just for the fun of it, on the whole. But
Seven series.
yeah, I feel that the thing about that, I feel that if it is a 7 game series, I may give the edge to the Mavericks because I feel that Luca just always finds a way to do something spectacular in those types of games, and he would probably like hit a buzzer beater shot to send home the Suns or something like that for upset late. So right now, I feel like I might go against the grain in this one. I might stick with Luca. I would say Mavs in four, in seven. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
whoa, whoa,
oh,
whoa.
oh.
Seven.
I mean,
Seven.
they said, man said four. I mean, like, whoa.
Yeah, boy.
Heart
Mavs to
started to
get
beat a little
4 wins.
faster.
Yes,
I
Mavs to
understand.
get
Yeah,
4
I
wins.
understand.
Yes.
Man have
For
me
me,
shocked just now.
for me, I'm gonna go with his Suns. I just think the way CP3's been playing so far and his game is improving in the playoffs once again. He is he seems more dependable in the playoffs now. I think I'm gonna put this for him switching his diet. He's vegan based now, and I think this has been having benefits in his game and his health, and just his his physical, I guess, toughness. Because he's not been really getting injured as much, especially last year he didn't get injured. He made it straight to the finals, NBA finals, and so far he's been looking good. He not no hamstring injuries to my knowledge. So with Devin Booker, hopefully recovering again. Sometimes that's a little much more needed rest to recover.
Devin Booker got to get put on that diet too, yeah.
and and I got CP3 playing at all-time level. Mikal Bridges hopefully could minimize or just at least reduce a bit, Luka's points. But I think I'm gonna believe in Monty Williams as well too, his coaching potential, his coaching ability, and I think with that triple threat there of Devin Booker, CP3, Mikal Bridges, and we never mentioned Aiton. I think I have
Aiton got a nice jump shot, a nice straight-on jump shot that he's been working on.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah,
I really do think the
he
Suns are
hit
gonna
a
win
couple
it.
of those.
7. I probably going.
See it.
I mean,
See
probably,
it. See it.
I probably going 6.
I knew
I'm
it.
going. I'm
Suns
going
in
6. I think Luka's back, but he is still fresh off an injury. He came back early. I don't know if he's 100% fit or not. This is gonna be increased intensity. He's played 1 game, no, 2 games so far in the last series. So we'll see how he holds up. So I really think he might not be fully himself. So that being said, I'm really gonna go with the Suns in 6. I just think the Suns gonna be too much for Mavs to handle. Truly speaking.
Mm.
But it should be a good
That's
match.
a good
A good matchup.
analysis. I think that's fairly good.
What you thinking, Hans?
I go with Suns because I ain't going against Suns. Happy made a good point on the fresh injury. We don't know, like we discussed how that's going to play, because we know, like, if you play on injuries, anything can happen, and it can make it worse.
Yeah.
It might cost them the series. So that's a factor to consider, the possibility of that happening. Hopefully it doesn't, so that we can get a good series, but definitely something to consider. We got Devin Booker back, Chris Paul playing perfect games and stuff like that in the playoffs, which is unheard of. So, and like Hakeem mentioned, like it doesn't seem like he's going to slow down anytime soon. He's healthy, so that's another thing to consider. Aiton, like I said, that jump shot from in the middle of the key looking nice. So I got him to get some decent buckets. I think in the first half of one of those games, of the last game actually, he was like he was close to Chris Paul's percentage in terms of shooting within the first half. I think he only missed like one or two shots.
Another perspective as a big man.
Yeah, exactly. So he's coming into his own. So I got Suns, man. I got Suns to go. In how much games though?
6 or 7. Can't be less.
Yeah,
Or shouldn't be less.
I was saying that six might make more sense. 7, like Raymond said, is for fun, to be honest. But if Devin Booker and Chris Paul do what they're supposed to do with the backing of Aiden and the others, then I think this game's going to go in 6.
Okay.
So I don't think this is going to be a 7-game series. So yeah, I got Suns in 6. And with that, people, we can break just for a few moments. We can come back here as quick as we can, and we can talk about Grizzlies versus Warriors. We can talk about Heat versus the Sixers. That's going to be a nice one. And Celtics versus Bucks. Ooh, one of those games already happened, and we can talk about it when we come back, people. So stay tuned. Welcome back, family. We back again to talk about what I said we were going to talk about: Grizzlies versus Warriors. The game
That's right.
already happened, peoples, and it was close. And my man Hakeem said Grizzlies can get one. Grizzlies almost already had one. So I don't know.
Draymond
Abby already
Green.
had his prediction, peoples. He
Yeah.
said Grizzlies can only get one. But in how much though? That's the question. How many games?
5 games. I got Golden State Warriors to beat them in 5. Now that's not gonna be a popular opinion, right?
Of course
But
not.
we see how Grizzlies, in my opinion, they labored through to beat Timberwolves, and we already agree that Timberwolves should have won the series if they played better. If they played a little better, more sensible, more
For the whole
sensible.
game.
Yeah, and they won in 7 games, right? This team is clearly a young team. I think they're losing their identity in the playoffs. They're not sticking to what made them a number 2 seed. Golden State is tried and proven. They know what it takes to win. Just about all their main pieces from the championship days are there. They have a new up and coming rising star in Jordan Poole. They won the first game, yes, by 1 point, as Hans correctly said.
But Draymond was out.
Draymond Green was missing for like the entire second half. That's the soul of their defense right there, and he was missing, and they still won the game by 1 point. Look, if I was Grizzlies, I'd be terrified right now. I'd be like, they should be terrified. They should be wondering, how can we try? Yeah, they should be hibernated right now. How can we get a win? Because the Golden State Warriors are for real. They are for real. These men hitting threes from everywhere, good in the paint. They have a good rotation, veteran players. Golden
They
State
got
fight.
good formation, bandanas on,
Good.
and they bench shooting.
And most importantly,
I like
they're disciplined. They're disciplined. The mistakes that Timberwolves made, because Grizzlies make mistakes regardless. They're gonna make hella mistakes, a lot of turnovers.
Yeah.
But you see the mistake, but they were able to get back in the game because Timberwolves are making even as much or more mistakes. Golden- Golden State is gonna punish Grizzlies for any mistake like that. They're gonna punish them. If they make a turnover, a quick 3, bam. Quick point in the paint, bam. Like these guys don't waste time. So I got the Golden State Warriors to win in 5.
That's a serious second round prediction there, boy. A 5.
Yep, not going to popular one, but I got them a 5.
I have
Nice.
the Warriors to win in 6. Despite
That sounds a little bit more like feasible to me, but go ahead.
let me counter Hakim a little bit. Despite the youthfulness of the Grizzlies, and yes, it was on full display against the Timberwolves. Both teams were making bad plays when it comes down to crunch time and what's not, or just throw the game on a whole. Young players, let me call it that. I believe the way that the Timberwolves were guarding Ja Morant played a significant role into making the series a lot more competitive than it might have been if Ja Morant was let loose. And from seeing some clips, and watching some clips from the game, the Warriors and Grizzlies game, I felt as though Ja Morant was a lot more free in terms of how he could attack the rim and get space to do the things that he would normally do.
Is it first half of the game you watching or the second half you're watching?
The whole game, like.
It's checking because Draymond was missing, so it's checking.
But
That's the card that you come in with.
But Draymond is not who guarding Ja.
He's not gonna guard Ja, but he's gonna help.
Yeah, I understand he's gonna get help, but I still feel as though the defensive scheme that Timberwolves implemented was specifically for Ja, and it took him most of the games. Truthfully, so many other players won those games for the Grizzlies. Besides Ja had probably like 130-point game. That was the first game, and they lost that. So he wasn't
Desmond
really.
Baines is your man there on Grizzlies side right now.
He wasn't really getting the points that he would normally get. Although he was assisting because it was so difficult for him to get to where he would normally get. And I feel like in this series he's allowed a little bit more let than he would have been in the previous series. So the Ja impact is going to be significant, and I feel like that increases the Grizzlies' chance of winning some more games. I don't feel that they'll beat the Warriors. Warriors in 6 is my prediction, but I feel like this is a better matchup for them in terms of Ja specifically and the team on the whole. You see, Jaren Jackson had 30-something points in that game. Like this matchup is better for them, personnel wise.
I get what you're saying, right? Because they're not gonna mount, because they don't have a Pat Bev to really hound Ja, but they're gonna what I should say, gonna State Warriors is known more to defend better than perimeter, so they're gonna try and neutralize the threes. If Ja gets a 30 point, you can live with that. If you make it at least a little tough for him, you can live with that. But if everybody else is neutralized or everybody else is struggling to get points, you know, the team as a whole, Memphis Grizzlies, are going to struggle to even compete because no matter what they do, who's going to guard Steph? Who's going to guard Clay? Who's going to guard Jordan Poole? Who's going to guard? Well, Jordan will get his points. He's going to contribute some points from rebounds, but who's going to guard those three guys? They don't have enough players to guard those three guys. You can't really guard Steph. You can't really you just go hope Steph has an off night. It's almost impossible to stop Steph. But I don't think they have what it takes defensively to really keep up, like to hold Golden State at bay. So I hear your points, but Ja going for 30 is a small price to pay. It's a small price to pay when overall the team can't get points or struggling to get points and find a rhythm. And if Desmond Bean isn't finding his rhythm, Darren Jackson isn't finding his rhythm, and Brooks struggled in that first series, so he has to try to create some sort of offensive rhythm for himself. But I think the Jazz in trouble. Jazz in trouble.
Not the Jazz, the
Sorry, man. Sorry,
Grizzlies.
Memphis
Yeah,
Grizzlies.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Grizzlies.
Series. Ain't a salmon for the Grizzlies in this series, people. I think, like I said, Warriors in six. I think that makes more sense. I
Warriors
think
and six. We didn't see.
yeah.
Man. We didn't see.
I think
When they
the
get the two bonus
Grizzlies
points, you know what's going on.
Pardon?
When they get those two bonus points, you know what's going on.
from where the first one, Suns versus Mavs. That makes sense. Okay. So yeah, I don't really have a lot to add to what what you guys were saying. But I still think that Grizzlies have it in them, enough fight in them to muster two games. They already almost had one. Yes, I understand Draymond was out,
Almost comes
blah
to
blah.
nothing.
But Ja was playing good basketball. Desmond Baines was playing good basketball. So I think Grizzlies got two in them, for sure.
I mean that. Next year. You mean next year?
No, boss. Watch and see. Watch and
Okay.
see.
Okay. I
Watch
understand.
and you will see. So yeah,
Okay.
for me, Warriors in six. So Grizzlies, you got to get the two. Come on, guys. Yeah. Anyways, let me go. Let me hop over to the East, people. Let me hop over to the East. Let me start with Celtics versus Bucks, as a game I have already been played.
Yes.
We've already seen the flex that a certain person put on a whole team. Um, let me start with you, Rayvon, because Hakim was leading us off in analysis so far. So let me hear your takes on this.
I think this is going to be more interesting than people think it will be. Because
Hmm.
I think a lot of persons already have opinions based off of that first game one. Like because they saw his luck totally out of it. But I feel there's
Hmm.
some sort of bounce back factor that they're going to bring for the next game. And I feel like it was a high possibility that they might be able to take the next game. At the end of the day, if Chris Middleton was there and this was the performance that they had, then fine. You could say that this could carry on for the whole game, but we gotta remember that Chris
But
Middleton is still out. Is still
but
out.
but doesn't Chris change the pace of the game for the Bucks a little bit?
Yes, that's totally understood. And my thing is, okay, if this was a close game, Giannis has developed his game to the point where he is more comfortable being the guy in the closing minutes of the game. But Chris
Yeah.
Middleton is usually more often than not that guy that would bring it home for the Bucks. I
Hmm.
feel after that game one, there are going to be a lot closer games, and I feel that the Celtics have two guys with the capability of being the closer at the end of games. To kind of get a shot from anywhere on the court, whether
Who's
whether
the
the three
second guy?
pointer,
Justin
Jalen
Brown
Brown,
and
yeah,
Jalen Brown.
Oh,
Jason
Jalen
Tatum.
Brown.
yeah.
Okay.
Jason Tatum.
I feel that they have the guys that could take it home in a close game. Giannis, when it comes down to crunch time, is a little bit. He's kind of predictable in what he would
He's want to drag
but
feet.
it's
Yeah.
effective though.
Try to get
More
feet.
often than not. But at that specific time, you got the defense keyed in on you specific for that specific moment. I'm pretty sure the
Man might
coaches are
surprise
smartly
you
now.
all and ditch it
But he
out to
could,
the perimeter. And
but he could pull up. No, he could pull up. He could. I see the man doing
Yeah, I
step
see
back
him. I see
threes.
him doing
The man doing
pull-ups.
a little mid-range
Yeah,
pull-ups. Like he could.
yeah,
this
he's that
this
smart
man
in this
game
game. I give him credit for
evolving.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I really
like
do. I really do.
his game is really evolving
Yeah.
and is
Scary.
showing. Yeah, yeah, it's showing. It's showing. Like he could flex on any team that he play against, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the Celtics are going to figure out something a little bit better on defense, and they've been excellent on defense for majority of the year, and they're going to figure out something on offense. Um, I feel the thing with the Bucks, what they do is stop you from getting to the paint. Brett Lopez and Giannis, both excellent rim protectors in their own
Hmm.
respects, and the Celtics have to find a way to spread out their defense so that they could open up some lanes to drive to the basket. So I just believe that they can find some way to be scoring some trees coming out next game, so it will open up the offense for them. They can get excited a little bit more and do some damage in there. Their defense wasn't too bad. It just they don't have anyone to really stop Giannis, truthfully. And
Hmm.
not many people have anyone to stop Giannis, if any at all. So
And Lopez
it-
to some extent because he's a fairly big dude, and
yeah.
once he hands get above the rim, then sorry, that's points.
I hate with 2 points here. Giannis got 24 points in the first game. But if I'm not mistaken, he got like 25. He took like 25 shots
exactly
to get there.
Not efficient.
So I could say he was highly inefficient.
Mhm.
But even so, that can't just be all due to Giannis. Some of that has to be credit to the Celtics
Boston's
defense or the
defense,
way
yeah.
they played.
Mhm.
At least they were able to disrupt his flow a bit.
Yeah.
No, in the totality, they got hammered.
Mhm.
They got hammered
Because
for
their
sure.
offense was terrible.
Was struggling.
Yeah.
Everybody was struggling. I think Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown combined for like 33 or 34 points, and that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Now, before this series commenced, before game one, I was saying Celtics to go all the way.
Mhm.
I've not fully wavered on that.
Go
But
all the way, meaning what?
NBA Finals, Celtics
Oh.
versus Celtics versus
Warriors?
Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, I feel it that
Oh.
way too. Truthfully,
But,
Okay.
but after that
Oh,
game
okay.
one, right? It was surprising to see
Okay.
how the Bucks played. No, I was saying Chris Middleton missing is gonna be a huge problem for the Bucks, but they looked very good in that first game. Giannis was scoring, distributed. Although he was not efficient, at least he got points nonetheless. Most importantly, the Bucks are a big team, and they play a harder defense,
yeah,
and they kind of pose problems for the Celtic stars to get points, especially in the paint.
yeah.
And the Celtics, to my knowledge, isn't a great 3-point shooting team, so they struggled a bit. I do expect them to bounce back in this series. I do not expect it to be a 4-left sweep. I just think they're too determined right now. They're too gritty. They have the caliber of their players is like at all-time high in my opinion. So I do believe they've bounced back. I'm hoping that they win. 'Cause I actually have Celtics to win this series.
Yeah.
But if they don't win game two, and because they have the home court advantage. If they don't win game two, it's gonna be tough for them to win
Yeah.
2 games in the road in Bucks.
Exactly.
So game two is a very important game for them. They need to win game two
Yeah.
to have a chance in this series.
Yeah, so I didn't get a mid-win prediction. I can stick with my original gut feeling, much like Hakeem is feeling. I feel like the Celtics are going to win the series. I can take them in 7.
Yeah, 7. I
yeah.
can't say anything before 7.
Yeah.
Anything less than 7.
That's my
At
prediction
all.
for that one.
Yeah, Celtics gonna find a way. They're gonna find a way. I think they have what it takes to bring it home. To bring it home.
we looking at you.
Y'all man
Hands-
funny. Y'all man
Got
funny.
Bucks to win.
Oh yeah. You sleeping? Yeah.
I ain't know.
Yo,
boy. Chris Middleton
peoples.
missing.
People, stop it. I can behave. Bucks in 6.
What?
It's
All right.
Bucks in 6.
All right.
I don't think Jason Tatum's gonna go play as poorly as he did, as well as Jalen Brown. Marcus Smart didn't even have a good game, to be honest. Too. I just think I can't see it. I think it might have been what you would say they beat the Nets so bad and so early, right? They might have been a little too rusty, a little too relaxed
Yeah, that's a
when
good
All
going
right,
point.
into the game.
all right,
Mm,
all right. If let me just throw this out there. If Bucks win the second game, would your prediction change from Celtics in seven?
depends on the second game goes. Like how badly do they lose? What were the mistakes? Did they play their best basketball and still lost the match by this high
If they
points?
lost by a close margin, it might be worse
They lost by a close margin. I think they can still win it. If they get
because
blown out
mentally,
again,
a close margin might be more devastating than
nah, it could come into a, like it can
something relatively, you know,
it could come into a last shot that was missed. It
right.
could come
And
that
if
could be
that
anything.
happens, sometimes
You can live with
sometimes
that. You can
look
live with
at
that.
Nets first game. Look at Nets first game. Even
But
though
that
it wasn't Nets that missed the shot, Jalen
Nets
Brown,
first game,
bring it home for the Celtics. After that, Nets didn't look too.
KD never got his mind right. But even the first game was very encouraging for the Nets because Kerry played well and they barely lost the match in the buzzer beater, and KD played so poorly. So no, I think that was very encouraging. But no one expected KD to have a terrible game again. Like that is not KD. That's atypical of KD. So
Mm,
I'd be that was surprising. But back on track for this.
Bucks in
I,
six.
nah, I can't
Don't
see
don't
it.
worry. That's my
Team is
prediction.
this team has changed. If it was on Brad Stevens, possibly, but
Mm,
but this I Celtics have a new identity right now.
Bucks in
They
six.
play tough.
Tough.
They
Yeah,
play
they
tough.
didn't play tough
And
that first game, but
yeah,
yeah,
and I really do think they beat Brooklyn Nets for a reason. You cannot beat Brooklyn Nets in 4 and go easily in 6 games second round. I
I
don't care
think
if it's
Bucks
the
would have
defending.
beat Brooklyn Nets in four
I
too.
don't care if it's the defending champ. It would have been different. I think it would have been. I don't think so. I think it would have been different lineup. I
It would
think
have been a
played them
different
differently.
four love. Is that what you're
Nah,
saying?
Nets to me, not Brooklyn. To me, the Bucks play a little slower than
Celtics.
Celtics. Yeah, they have a lot. They have a lot bigger players, so they're not as mobile.
Yeah,
Compared to
they
Drew Holiday is a small player. Drew Holiday is a small player. Ooh,
No, I mean
yeah,
Drew
put
Holiday would give. How you mean Drew Holiday would give Kyrie fits? Truthfully, if it's
all right, we
anybody
do a little.
if it's anybody that can make Kyrie life miserable, it's Drew Holiday. Truthfully,
More some.
But look,
You
Nets
said
ain't in this anymore. We talking Celtics Bucks. Nets ain't in this. Nets
fair
get
enough, fair
sweet.
enough, fair enough.
Them don't deserve to be mentioned for the entirety of
The rest of the playoffs.
them done.
Celtics and
So,
7.
yeah, fair.
There is gold
But
at the end
Bucks
of
ain't
the rainbow.
six.
There is gold at the end of the rainbow.
You see, your prediction is on hold. My prediction is based on what's going to happen. I already see it.
Right, fortune
Bucks in
teller.
6. Bucks in 6. Celtics can win one game at Bucks. Then they can come back home and win one game at home, but not the second game. And then Bucks can close it off.
Me say something here no. Me say something here so. What's
Yeah,
this
show
here?
me.
As he had lights, I hitting the Bucks straight on.
Then freeze.
Then
Then
get past the Celtics. As he had lights.
And then when the headlights gone, what can happen?
The Bucks again.
The Bucks can eat up that chlorophyll, man.
Celtics
Leaves
at 7, man.
gone. And Heat versus 76ers, fellas. Who you
Right now,
got
look.
hacking?
Right now, Miami mauling Philadelphia. 185. 185.
I not surprised.
Without Embiid, I got Miami Heat to win this series for sure.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's a brainer.
Probably. I won't say it. I am gonna go in 5. I think they'll find a way to get one game. I do not see in game 6. Like Miami Heat are too deep. They have too much depth to their team. They're a very defensive oriented team as well. They have numerous players that can defend at high level. And then Tyler Hero coming off the bench, scoring buckets like crazy.
Yep.
This team is the number 1 team in the East for a reason. It would have been interesting if Embiid was there, but if Alice said Embiid is not there, this team has no chance. If Harden was himself, it would have been possible.
Yeah.
But Harden right now is struggling.
On hope again.
Harden is a shell of himself right now. He's just not playing well. He looks
Even if he was
sluggish.
playing well
He
with
doesn't
the
seem to have that.
NBL,
He doesn't seem to
he's
have
got
that
76ers
explosive.
number.
He doesn't seem to have that explosive step anymore. Step back three. I ain't seen no step backs anymore. So I don't know what happening to Harden, but Miami Heat to win this series in 5.
Yeah.
If Embiid comes
I
back,
feel like
it
that's
might
the
go. It might
case.
go. It might go to 6. But Miami Heat to get to the conference finals.
Yeah.
Wait. Heat steady conference finals and okay. So Heat versus Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
So
Possibly
you
is
say
right.
Heat in 5, Hakeem?
yeah. Heat in 5. Heat in 5.
Yeah, but I got Heat, but the number is so determined. It's so
On
dependent
Embiid.
on
Embiid coming
Embiid.
back.
Like,
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, if Embiid comes back, I want to say 6, but
like, them could get sweep right now. Like,
they
I
could.
tell you
They
so,
could.
like,
But I want to say like they're gonna find a way to get claw 1 game. I'm just.
I always
Maybe-
want to give people
But
one,
no, but
like
it's hard.
complimentary
But
games.
you
Like,
don't really
have
get
it.
teams don't really get swept like that, especially in
In the second
the
round.
semifinals.
Yeah.
And this is the number 4 team in the East.
yeah, they just
And
win
this
series.
is a quality team. It's just good coach as well, experienced players. They've been there. Harden has been in NBA finals, well NBA final, we should say. So like
Mhm.
they know what to do. Just they're missing a valuable player to the team.
Yeah, this
That's
one.
the truth.
Yeah, this one a little bit tough. I got the Heat.
It's tough to get the 2 points.
Yeah, the number. I ain't really sure. I can take a risk with this one. I can go over the sweep.
Oh, am I going 4?
Yeah, I can go over the sweep.
Ah.
I don't know if MB can come back. That's his tough. That's
That
his tough thing.
see that Philadelphia crowd? Not easy.
Yeah, it ain't easy, but the Heat defense ain't easy. So I don't know if they can be scoring many points. But Embiid does make up over a third of their points per game. So that's crazy.
Yeah. So they may lose by over a third.
I don't know if they can lose by that.
general
They might have a
balance,
close
no.
game here or there. Somebody might like Tobias Harris might have like a 30-point game or something like that. Or
Tyrese Maxey.
Maxey might have a 30-point games. I don't see James Harden getting one because he just look, as Hakeem said, he just looks slow and old. The best thing that he doing is facilitating passing.
If he third, that week might be looking real probable.
Again, he in 4. That's a big call there.
This can be history.
Yeah.
Am I calling for history?
And Miami Heat
fellas?
Miami Heat bought to win this game.
Correct.
106 to 92.
Correct. That's tough.
That is
Ah,
very
boy.
tough. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. What say you? Lance?
106 to 92 is embarrassing, you said?
What? Go home and
Alright.
sleep and hold
What was the
me
what
not
was
playing
the
on ESPN.
what was the scores between Bucks and 76? Not 76ers and Celtics again for the first game.
I think 101-89. It was something
Yeah,
something
that's-
bad as
they
well.
get destroyed. Yeah.
Yeah, you get. We said that they get more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
game, but that's-
I just trying to figure out, right, Hakeem, how you logic working.
But that's
with,
but the Sixers
But
only
then
scored
again-
3 more. But the Sixers
yeah.
only scored 3 more points than the Celtics scored. So
and so Sixers missing a valuable piece to their team.
yeah,
Celtics missing no one.
exactly.
They gonna come back.
which is worse.
Yeah, which
So
is
how
worse.
you could give Celtics it in 7 and then give this team
They lost the battle, but the war is still to be
Yeah,
there to be won.
exactly. Exactly.
This war for Philadelphia is just about over. They
I
lost the
guess-
battle and probably the war,
Mhm.
hands down. The lieutenant gone. The sergeant gone.
fair. I guess certain rules work for certain teams. That's all.
That's no matter of rules. It's a matter.
That's-
I still got.
That's all it is.
I still got the
Certain rules
personnel
and
that
logic works for certain
that could
teams.
carry me to combat. The Sixers don't have the personnel. Only FNB
You had the
is there.
personnel and get washed.
All right, that's okay. But I got the personnel for the
Bucks
next
in
game.
6.
I got the personnel for
Bucks
the next
in
game.
6.
The personnel could change everything. Then we got. I don't see the Sixers having a chance. FNB don't come
Then
back.
go check him with human resources.
Their best player, MVP candidate too. MVP
go.
candidate too. There's no way. As I tell you, somebody on that bench got.
I agree with you,
turned into
you know.
something.
I agree with you. I just trying to figure out the logic between Bucks and Celtics and Heat. And,
The logic is what's being explained. The logic is, yes, them get beat bad, But you still got Jason Taylor and Jalen Brown there. Them ain't going away. They coming back for your next game, though.
Yeah,
So
yeah, coming back for more
so,
licks, more
I know, man.
licks,
I feel
more
like
You,
licks.
you see,
you
you
got
see,
more
you
competitive
me a
edge.
last, you me a last in the prediction board just now.
All
Wait
right,
and see. Just wait and
all
see.
right.
Just
I
wait and
know,
see.
I know,
Wait
So
and
man.
see.
what was your prediction for the Heat? Was it Heat and what?
Right, well, but question is how much games
Right, that's
like
what I answer
everyone
you.
was struggling with.
I want to hear a number.
Right.
You can get a number. You know that you can get aggressive numbers from me too.
Let me hear the
Four
question.
then. Go for four then.
I would say a tree if that was possible. Um, I won't go with 4, but
Follow your mind
yeah,
and don't
that
follow your mind and don't come back complaining. to me,
4,
oh, you should have followed your
4
mind.
sweet.
All right,
That's my mind. Like
all right,
I,
good.
I was gonna change for the Embiid card, right? If somebody pull up the Embiid card while we there playing the series, then
Just Pokemon.
whatever you want it to be. But yeah, sweet janitor special for 76ers.
All right, that easy then.
That's what
Easy.
it be. That's my prediction. My prediction's looking strong, boy. Looking like a game. Some bonus points.
Well,
3 bonus points at
we
least.
can find out by
That's-
next week. We can
you're
see
repping
how
it.
far it is.
You open your fortune cookie and tell you that part.
Man, you gotta talk for me, Hakim. You gotta talk for me. That's fair. That's fair. So, anything else you guys got to talk about? F1 coming up this weekend, so you know that I can give you guys a little preview to hop in on the action.
Right. But
So
nothing else
don't
from
sleep
me.
on it. Hakim, I can get you in on the action too. So
And
don't
everyone, all
worry.
right.
Yes.
Sounds like a plan.
Max Verstappen and Red Bull looking like them fix the reliability issues, and once Max working for Ferrari got a battle on them hands.
Yeah, for sure.
And Sergio Perez getting better and better, so looking like a nice Red Bull versus Ferrari season.
On a new
And
track.
the rest of the part,
I said, and then you go add on the new track. New track this weekend.
yeah. No track in Miami. I got ask your boy if you go into that race. I don't know.
I know.
I don't know about
Yeah,
F1.
exactly. I don't.
But yeah, F1 coming up, people. So stay tuned for that because next week we can talk about it. Are we doing Sunday next week or are we doing Monday again?
Well,
What you guys think?
We could
So,
determine that. We could
yeah,
determine that later.
yeah, we can
determine that later.
Cool.
All right, people, stay tuned. Instagram for sure. Check us out. That's where we post short clips, post updates, and what's not. There also follow the page and like this video if you haven't already. Share it with someone who you think would enjoy NBA talk. Give us your predictions, people. We want to see how aggressive you are or how shy you are when it comes to the predictions. We
Yeah.
want to see where you stand and leave some comments as always. Hasher Bros, can see you later, family. It's been a good one, fellas.
Yes, sir. Peace out.
Peace.